What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 14 of Damn That's Good with Big Salinas BBQ. I'm your host, Randy Salinas, joined by always my brother, Junior Salinas, and of course, our amazing producer behind the scenes, Chris Bustos. So, without further ado, let's get to it.
Let's do it. All right. So last episode we talked a lot about our experience on the Pit Life Barbecue podcast. Definitely go check those guys out. They do an amazing job. We talked about the sausage that he cooked up. We had some barbecue team shout outs that we wanted to give. Of course, our small business spotlight. And then we had an interview with Big Ed from Spicy Caballero. He was doing his thing as he's out there. He'll be out there at the Zest Fest June 1st. And then at the Rockwell Farmers Market, he's usually there every other weekend. You want to check out his Facebook page to find out where he's at. We had some barbecue tips, some questions, and of course, we did go over our thoughts on the draft. And I'm sure we'll have some more of that going on. But let's get right to it. But before we do, let's thank our sponsors. They are
Prairie Fresh for all your pork needs, pork butts, ribs. Check out Prairie Fresh, Holy Smoked Spice Company. Uh, if you're looking for some of the best rubs out there besides ours, give theirs a try. Brothers Keepers Homegrown Barbecue makes some killer drums. And then we have Thermo Pro. If you're looking for good thermo pins or something to keep your temperature on your cook, really good. Give them a try. And then last episode we did list another one, and that was our butcher paper meat hugger. You can check them out on Amazon and use coupon code 10 Big Salinas to save 10% on your order.
definitely go and do that. Because you know those Amazon orders can get big. Just you order one thing, next thing you know, you're ordering 10 other things that you don't really need. But yeah, definitely go hit those sponsors up. Thank you to our sponsors. Without you, we can't do this. And definitely thanks to you, the listeners. Of course, you can find us anywhere you get your podcast or YouTube on Monday. You can see put a face to our names and really see us in action that way. Let's go ahead and hit this small business shout out before we get going. Who do you got tonight?
I have it's a barbecue sauce company. Um, I'm gonna pull up their information. So if you want to give yours first, I can pull theirs up, and then I can actually show you what they've got.
I can do that. I have a uh, friend of mine, like you said, and when our small business shout outs, we really truly mean hit us up saying, hey, give me a shout out, help me out. I just want to get my name out there and we will do it. It doesn't have to necessarily be barbecue. I've done other ones, photography, real estate agents. I'm actually doing another real estate agent tonight. Her name is Cassie Shook, Shook. She's with Texas Elite Realty. She can be found on Cassie Shook Real Estate Agent on Facebook. You can hit her up at 214-578-8417 or Cassie L. Shook at gmail.com. She will definitely help you out because that real estate market is truly on fire right now, especially here in the DFW area. You need somebody that's going to go to bat for you. She will do that. She will look for the house of your dreams. She'll look for whether you want to buy, lease, rent, whatever. She can definitely help you out. And she will be on your side from start to finish. You can't go wrong again with her. So, like I said, give her a shout out. That's Cassie Shook at Texas Realty Elite Realty. Again, that number is 214-578-8417, or that's Cassie L. Shook at gmail.com. Tell her Junior sent you over with Big Salinas Barbecue, and she will take good care of you. All right, ready? What you got?
So the barbecue sauce or barbecue company, I should say that I'm giving a shout out to this week is Mad Moose Barbecue. As you can see at the very top, if you're watching on YouTube, he was 2020 American Roy's best sauce on the planet, third place. He believe he finished top three again this year with his honey chipotle sauce, which is what I got this week. And just to check it out, everything he's got. It's the honey chipotle barbecue. It is like a dipping sauce. It is pretty good. As soon as I tried it out of the bottle, it made me wish I had chicken nuggets to
Ooh,
dip
it
it in.
look good.
But give it a try. MadMooseBarbecue.com. Check them out. Instagram, Facebook. Mad Moose Barbecue.
There you have it. There you have it. Definitely go check out both of our small businesses. They could we definitely want to help them out and help anybody else out. If you got somebody that you want for us to give a shout out during that small business shout out, definitely hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, text message, email, whatever it is that you want. Let us know, and we will be more than happy to help them out because that is something we absolutely enjoy. It's one of my favorite parts of the show. But with your small business shout out, you brought up the American Royal competition where they send your sauces or your rubs or stuff like that. We send ours in. Tell us how we did on our stuff.
So the barbecue sauce finished 68 in the mild category out of 123. Original 64 at 88 in the specialty category. I just kind of threw that one in a different one just to see. Um, the rubs, porky rub was 33 out of 168 in the mild. No bull rub was 76. Holy garlic finished 145. So overall, those were in the world 51st for porker, 107th in noble, 197 out of 223 for holy garlic. But in the hot, come as a surprise, the hot porker rub finished fifth in the world in the hot category and 14th overall for best rub on the planet. So overall, our rubs did really good. Our barbecue sauce, not so much, but talking with Mad Moose Barbecue and TD's Barbecue and some other ones, basically the American Royal when it comes to barbecue sauce has to be thick. The thicker sauces are what pretty much they want.
And our sauce is not truly what you would define as thick. We use it. It is a sauce. I mean, I've used it on chicken nuggets, and we've had people use it on meatloaf and breakfast sandwiches and all kinds of crazy things, chicken wings and stuff, of course, and ribs and stuff. But it's more of a complimentary sauce, like a glaze, I would almost say, but not truly a glaze because it will not take away from your seasonings. But so you definitely want to try it. You will get hooked, and it will take your barbecue to the next level. Um, with that hot pork rub coming in fifth, I mean, how ecstatic were you when you saw that?
I was pretty exact. I mean, I was pretty surprised that it did that good for being just out for what since February,
Yeah, I
four
mean,
four months.
not even a full 6 months. About
Yeah,
February, something that you just concoctionated and thought of and put your mind and thought to it, and then for it to bottle it up and stick it out there, and not knowing what you're going to get. Um, to go fifth is pretty awesome. Now, is it one of those to get it at first? You need to think you need to make a different one where it's super spicier or something like that.
no, I mean you don't want it. My opinion, too spicy because you don't want to overpower the judges.
Gotcha.
So the rubs aren't going to change. The sauce, I mean, I'm not worried about it. Uh, I mean, when you send it in, you're just basically sending it in just for you know shits and giggles, basically.
Yeah, correct. I mean, we've got great reviews and it's award winning. All of our stuff's been award winning. So it definitely speaks for itself, and you man, we would like to be noticed in that categories, but I mean, it's okay. I mean, we're happy. I'm happy with what you do, and you're happy with what it is. So that's all that matters, right there, going forward. So as we kind of switch some gears here from it, any new before we do that though, any new things coming down the pipe? Maybe you're working on in the kitchen, the Mad Science Kitchen.
Nope, nothing yet. Besides the same old chicken rub. Anything else that comes out, I'm not gonna tell anybody about. It's just gonna be a surprise for when it comes out. I want to draw people's interest to see
Ah.
it.
It's playing hard to get out there. I see how it is. I tried, people. I tried. See, that's how secretive he is. And well, like I say, when he comes up with something, he won't tell anybody it. He wants you to try his finished product when he's satisfied with it. And that's one thing we love about him. And I hope he keeps that up. All right. So let's switch subjects here real quick. And what the last 2 weeks, what has Randy been up to?
So we've been cooking up catering and stuff. And there's our nephew right there, Nick, being a little shit.
Is he there in the house?
Yeah, they're here. So Nick and Mason are here because Leslie Jeff went out of town. They went to Vegas.
Well, tell Mason to come on. He's our junior pit master. Let's bring him on the show.
We'll bring him on in a minute. Yeah, we've been picking up catering orders for customers, brisket, chicken, ribs that we cooked this weekend. We'll touch, at the very end. And then we were supposed to have Aaron Clark of Longhorn Barbecue hopping on, but I think he got real busy with catering orders and stuff going on. So we will get him rescheduled with that. But I do have another guest coming on. So when we get back, he is Michael Goff of King Louie's Meat Apostles. He also sent his rubs over to the American Royal. Some of them didn't do very good. One of them did really, really good. They finished 7th in the hot category, and that was his hot apple pie. So we'll talk to him about that and all his rubs and stuff. So stay tuned, because when we get back, we'll have him on. And then when we get done with that, we'll give you, of course, your barbecue tips, tricks, and then we'll dive into kind of like family traditions. And, of course, we'll talk some football.
Sounds good.
This week's episode, we have... Guys, we have a lot. I feel like we have so much that to make sure that we cover everything, it's just me and Chris today. Get it all in.
That's all you want. Let's be real.
Yeah. So right off the top, we're going to be discussing what is our favorite cereal for Troy time. And then we're going to talk about NBA playoffs, man. I'm so excited, dude. I saw that highlight I sent you in the thing. I'm
crazy.
I am stoked. Also, Saturday Night Live, the Michael Che show on HBO, Woman in the Window. We're also going to do a deep dive into Jorge's Instagram feed. Since he's not going to be here, we can critique it without any sort of explanation of what's going on.
I love that.
And then,
we'll sprinkle a little Troy in there somewhere. I'm sure he'll show up.
And just a little bit more cereal talk, probably.
Yeah. So funny. I actually had that conversation at dinner, and it reminded me of that. We had
I just saw a bowl of cereal. One of the kids had a bowl of cereal, and I was like, oh, it's Troy time.
Yes. Well, we had okay, so Saturday was my niece's 18th birthday.
To all the haters out there.
So welcome back, everyone. We have now our guest, Michael Goff of King Louie's Meat Apostles. So why don't you just introduce yourself to our fans and let them know who you are and how you got started in barbecue.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. Michael Goff. I'm with King Louie's Meat Apostles. I'm just like everybody else. Just attend a bunch of competitions. Kind of got out of that. I'm more of a backyard guy now, and I'm a fat, bald dude that likes to drink beer and barbecue. So it fits me to a T, right? So, I kind of got like everybody else, kind of getting started in the world of seasonings and rubs, kind of like you guys, right? We all start off on the comp trail, kind of playing with what you like in the backyard, and then you get a couple calls, you win some ribbons, you get some trophies, and you jot your recipes down and kind of honing your craft. And I just kind of got to where I started playing with a lot of unique stuff, and I got tired of mixing it all, like layer after layer after layer with everything, and thought, I want it in one shaker, and that's really where it started. And then, 2.5 years later, and we're blessed and fortunate, just like Big Salinas BBQ. We had a good showing at the American Royal this year, and we're coming for you guys next year. So coming after that hot porker, because you guys beat our hot apple pie. Good stuff. So the barbecue community, as you guys know, it's tight knit. It's really kind of a family, and it's been fantastic ride over the last 2 years. We're relatively newer players to the game. We've only been doing this for about 2.5 years. Our line of seasoning, that is. And, we're looking forward to some really big things coming up. We got new products on the horizon, and can't wait to do some comps. I'm sure that our paths will be crossing maybe in the near future. You guys going down to are you going to a Ruck It Up Charities event here in a couple weeks?
Yeah, we're going to try to.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to plan stuff out with, catering orders and stuff coming in. But, like I told Gabriel and all them, we're going to try. I just don't want to sign up for something and, we can't go for whatever reason. We'll see.
No, totally understand it. Hey, congratulations. We've talked offline, but since this is y'all's part of the podcast and I'm the guest, congratulations, man. The Big Royal, literally it's the World Series of barbecue rubs and sauces, and you guys have had a couple of good showings. So congratulations to you guys. You should feel really proud about that.
Yeah, like I told you, it was, you basically just enter it in just to see. We both entered in last year, and we were just like, well, whatever, okay. But when you have great products, the only thing you can do is hope that they like and enjoy it. So for your rub and our rub to kind of finish right there, right next to each other was kind of cool to see.
Yeah, it was. And like anything else, it's a contest, right? But the thing that's cool about this one is this is just for rubs and sauces, and it's literally we're up against the largest, some of the best known brands in the industry. We're up against some of the most talented cooks in the world, because this isn't just the U.S., right? This is globally. I think there were 14 countries represented this year, and then on top of that, there are a lot of recipes that have been honed on the competition trail and taken a lot of, GCs and RCs and just, trophy after sack of trophy. So for me kind of not being on the trail for a while and being kind of owning my roots and just staying true to being backyard, it's kind of good to see us, finish where we did, same as you. So, again, congratulations on that one. I haven't tried y'all's, by the way. We need to trade paint again, Randy. I need to swap some goods. I need some hot porker in my life, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say we need some hot apple pie in ours too.
Absolutely.
Because I've been with the sauce, like I've been trying to order, the ones you finish up there to see how they are. Like I saw my brother with the sauce, it has to be really thick. So the thicker sauces are gonna what they're looking for. So ours, we're kind of behind the 8 ball when we got a thin sauce, but our product is great. We're not changing anything.
No, I don't think you should. It's like anything else, guys. You show up at an event, you think you kill it, you think you have a great cook, and then you don't get a call, and then you scratch your head and you're hoping to read a comment card to see kind of what you got, right? And get it, see, hey man, I thought we nailed it, but it's one event, it's one thing, but it is against kind of the best in the world. So it is a big thing. I would love to see comment cards come out of that. That'd be absolutely fantastic. But, chalk it up for what it is. You guys had a great showing. And the crazy thing is in my neck of the woods, and I'm in central Missouri, and I know that y'all are, I grew up in Missouri. I'm from here, but I'm from Texas, Dallas. So I'm used to Texas barbecue, but I've always been a Kansas City barbecue fan. And around us, there's some central Missouri has become a true hotbed for barbecue. There were 2 local teams that have done very, very well over the years. They're not as prevalent on the competition circuit that you see today.
Yeah.
They're basically kind of retiring, if you will. But Spice Wine Ironworks out of Columbia, Missouri, they won. Jay Curry, aka the Sauce Whisperer. He has a mustard sauce. He's got a variety of sauces, a whole line of rubs and seasonings, as well as sauces. And they pulled first place in the mustard-based sauce. And I'll be honest, that Golden Gold is absolutely fantastic. One of my favorites. I'll pick you up a couple bottles. So when I mail my care package down to you guys, I'll share with you what some of the local comp teams, they all play stop in the American Royal. And then another competition team local is Sticky Pig. They're in Hallsville, Missouri. They've been around for a while. They've got they're a regional distributor, so they're well distributed. Actually, when we were driving to Memphis in May, we stopped at a variety of stores just to kind of chat with some folks along the way in restaurants, and we saw a lot of their product on the shelves kind of as we were getting closer to Memphis as well. And they pulled second. They've got a mustard sauce that's absolutely fantastic. They pulled second in the mustard category behind the other local team, Spice Wine Ironworks, that pulled in the blue ribbon for first place. So there's a lot of good cooks that are around here. Everybody wants to argue about, hey man, what's better? Is it Kansas City? Is it Texas? Is it North Carolina? Where's the best barbecue? Is it Cajun? Is it New Orleans? Right? Is it down in Mississippi? There's an argument to be made here in Missouri that probably the best barbecue is coming out of southern Missouri, down in the Boot Hill, Sikeston, the Holcomb area. There's some fantastic guys that are just cranking out some crazy good barbecue down there, and they don't get mentioned a whole lot because they're kind of off the comp trail now. But a lot of the restaurants, they're supplying their seasoning to these restaurants that they've implemented in their smokehouse and recipes and stuff. So it's kind of the base of a lot of the cuisine that's around here from a barbecue standpoint.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with, in my opinion, in Texas or anywhere. The best barbecue you're going to find anywhere, in my opinion, is when you go off the beaten trail. So, here locally, there's a lot of, mom and pop shops that are now opening, like Hurtado's. It's competing with the big boys. Dane's Barbecue is competing with them. So when you have these new ones that are popping up that are competing, like Smoke Sessions, it was now basically named the next biggest barbecue joint in DFW and in Texas, the one that's going to basically should overtake Pecan Lodge and, Franklin's, to have them just start popping up and start, their brick and mortar shop. That's where you want to go.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking them out. Have you guys been there? I haven't been there yet.
I've been to Smoke Sessions. Smoke Sessions has got some really good barbecue. Hurtado's, I haven't been there yet, but from what I hear, man, you have to get there early to get a sample of everything. If you get there late, you're missing out on some of the stuff.
That tells you all you need to know, right? I mean, Come on. This is a pure sad guy sport, man. So put me in, coach.
Let me go.
Absolutely.
But let's talk
to me. Let me pose a question to you guys. Mm-hmm. What's coming on? What's on the Big Salinas BBQ radar here, man? What do you guys got going on?
That's top secret. That's top secret. It's top secret.
But I mean, really, all I got is working on like a regular chicken and a hot chicken rub. Other than that, there hasn't been really much thought. Like, I know when we're gonna do more sauces, it's just we don't know. I don't know how I want to do them. So there are some sauces I have in my head, and in my head they sound good, but it's gonna, when I go to put them, cook them, we're gonna see how they come out. But I don't want to give too much away. Like I told him, I want people to be interested in it, and when they see it, but okay, yeah, I gotta have it. I gotta try it.
We made I went with a cousin. He was like, hey, I need you to run an errand. He's like, we got to go run down. It's about 30 minutes from here. We're going to run through Amish country. So we went down there and he needed some odds and ends from a lumber company down there, building supplies. So, we scored that. But then as we were driving out, we saw all these fruit stands, crazy good fruit stands in the Amish area. Strawberries, peaches, blackberries. I'm talking fresh.
Yeah.
Well, like $140 worth of fruit later, after like 3 fruit stands, we came back and we made barbecue sauces with all this organic, like locally sourced produce. Oh my word. There was like 2 weeks where we made sauce after sauce, variation after variation, canning it, giving it away. We took some really good notes. There's a couple of recipes that are kind of going to spin off on this that I'm kind of keeping in my pocket for the moment. But the blackberries last year stole the show. So I can tell you this, one that I've been playing around with, and probably one of the first sauces that I put out is a blackberry jalapeno. It's absolutely, it's crazy good, man. Love it, man. So, and then I've got, like everybody else, there's so many great sauces that are out there. I've ordered from a ton of different people, and we'll be posting up, a variety of cooks coming up. So, and I'm out of the spicy. So again, we need to trade pain. So I need some of your spicy back in my life. I got a rack of lamb ribs that have spicy written all over it, man. So.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely send some out to you. Yeah, I mean, your stuff is great. I know that blackberry sauce, man. That sounds really, really good. When I heard that coming off the Pit Life Barbecue, I'm like, oh man, that once you get that, bottled and sold, that's gonna fly off the shelf, I think.
We smoked a cheesecake, and we put that blackberry jalapeno. We topped it. We candied some fresh blackberries, and then we finished that cake. We baked it in the oven. We finished it on the smoker. We candied the blackberries, made a compote, put that on top of the smoker, and then we added that blackberry jalapeno barbecue sauce over the top of all of it. Dude, it was lights out. It was crazy. Good stuff.
Yeah. So let's just dive right into your rubs. Let's talk about that hot apple pie. What's that flavor profile on it?
Well, the crazy thing is, I was looking around. I've got a couple of bags that are kind of back here, but I don't have any of the hot apple pie that are super handy because I had to drop some off to a buddy today, butcher shop. But that hot apple pie was, really. I don't tell this story a lot, but it kind of comes back from my grandmother. She made some of the best applesauce that was just out of this world. So we had we grew up here in Missouri. My roots are from Missouri, even though I'm a Texas guy, living most of my life in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But, we had a large family farm, small orchard that was on it. So they were always canning. We were always picking. We were doing absolutely everything, right? So it was literally sourced right to the table. So she made this exquisite applesauce, using the fruit right from her orchard, tons of brown sugar, tons of cinnamon. And then she would make these crazy good pies. But the applesauce and the apple pies were just out of this world. And she could cook and bake. And I'd imagine you're coming from probably some wicked cooks coming from your family as well, right? So, that was kind of the basis of it. And, we started with that smoky candy apple rub that just flies off the shelves. It's pretty popular. And that did really well in the American Royal last year. As a new company, we just kind of tossed it in. And, it came in 26th in the world and 23rd in the mild category, which we felt really good about. Kind of validated, hey, it's one thing to cook it in your backyard and have the family say, oh, this is great. It's another thing to be out of the competition and off the comp circuit, and finally, bottle what I've been cooking and then have it validated against some of the better cooks. So I found myself, and I love it. I think it's great. And that one is going to kind of, touch across all palates. But I'm a true hot guy. I like the sweet heat, and I like the sweet heat, the double heat, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what? I need to make the angry uncle of that smoky candy, and it needs to have, one, a little more front end apple hit, and number two, it needs to have a big punch of some type of pepper that's gonna just knock your socks off. So we played with a ton of pepper. We use, and there's a ton of honey in it, granulated honey. That we use a lot of natural apple powder, which gives it that front end apple hit. There's apple pie spices that everyone's familiar with that's mixed in, but really kind of the star of the show is we played with a variety of peppers when we were test cooking it. And, I like some of the super peppers that kind of linger with you a little bit, right? But to be commercially available and to sell it is something different. So we played with a back and forth with a bunch of habaneros. And we thought that had a little too much bite and it lingered a little too much. So we backed off of it a little bit. We wanted something that would taste great, big apple pie bite, right? And then a pepper that was going to deliver a big punch up front and then dissipate quickly. So you take a bite of it, and if you pour some in your hand and take a bite of it, you're going to go, wow, this stuff is hot apple pie, and it is. But we landed on an extra hot, like a triple hot cayenne. It's a cayenne pepper that we use in it, but it's higher on the Scoville units. Like a habanero is like 500,000 Scoville units. And the typical cayenne is, I think, somewhere around 100,000. So it's about, 1/5 of the potency of a habanero. But we found some peppers and sourced some peppers that were between 300 and 350 Scoville units. So just a scooch below a habanero. And a cayenne gives you that front end punch and dissipates quick.
Yeah.
So out of the package, you're going to get a really big burst of explosion. But then when you cook with it, it dissipates and it mellows out. So we're proud of it. I've been killing ribs with it. I've gained about 15 pounds for probably about 2 months, but at this point, probably 20, 25 pounds in the last 4 months test cooking that thing. So I'm glad it's finally on the shelf.
Yeah. I mean, and that's, in my opinion, that's what you want. Is you want to get kicked out of the bag, but then when you cook on it, you want them just to say, okay, you want to just, wow, that's got a nice kick on it. And that's what I was telling him is you don't want something that's going to, overpower one judge, and because that's going to make it, well, you can go from having 10s, so all of a sudden it's too hot. You're going to have 7s. You want that even level to where the people who can handle hot are like, okay, yeah, that's really good. And the people, who can't, I'm like, okay, I can do that. Yeah.
I'm a little bit of a chili head, so I kind of be cognizant of that. I still dice it up, even when I'm gonna probably make ribs. My father's has an event that I need to make some ribs for. So and he likes it a little spicy, so I'll probably end up dusting it up. I'm doing a lot of hot apple pie, and I mix it with honey chipotle. I think the honey granules and that honey chipotle is really good. It's got a little bit of that smoky chipotle flavor in it, right? But it's got a ton of honey granules in it. And, when you cook with honey, the beautiful thing about that granulated honey is it forms just a fantastic, bark and crust on anything that you're really cooking, especially ribs. And pork, my wife and we do a lot of salmon. We smoke a lot of salmon. My family loves salmon. Even though I'm not a big salmon person, I'm down with it. I'm the cook, so I'm making all sorts of stuff. Those two pair very, very well together, and they absolutely slay ribs. So, and I know I've seen your cooks, man. So I know you get down on some ribs. I've seen that once or twice.
Yeah. It's come a long ways from when we were first making it to all of a sudden now. But yeah, that honey chipotle, and then before you had the hot apple pie, that and that smoked candy was them two together. Like, oh my goodness, on ribs or on chicken, that was my go-to on chicken. Before
we've had a handful of teams that have kind of reached out over the last really year, and it's kind of started using a bunch of stuff. And we've had some smaller teams that are, and some teams that are getting some calls with a combination of a variety of things. But the three that have been in there most recently: hot apple pie, smoky candy apple, honey chipotle. Those are the three, and they've been getting calls on. And then I do some stuff that I provide my comp teams that's not available. I do some special blends for some comp seasonings for them that we don't have packaged just yet. we're trying to maintain a clean label. With that said, competition teams will use a lot of MSG, things of that nature that's not 100% all natural. So for my comp teams, I definitely know we amp it up a little bit and put some stuff in there that brings out some high-end beef tallow notes as well as some beef bottom notes for briskets. We're using a lot of butter powder, which I'm sure you kind of played around a little bit with.
Yep.
So who knows? We're toying with an idea of coming out with a comp line, but we're trying to stay true to kind of what we've started with, just to keep it kind of all natural, if you will.
Yeah. So something you may come out with, something you may not. Just all the kind of depends, basically.
Yeah, we keep kicking that can down the road. We've got the recipes. The recipes are in the can, and we dig them. They're good. It's just we want to put them out.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing is a lot of them now. There's a lot of companies that are coming out with 12, 13, 14 different rubs. Like if you have that many rubs, that's great. More power to you. But for me, it's like I just rather stick with what is popular. I mean, because you may have 12 different rubs, but some of them are just going to sit there. So I mean, if you have that many rubs, I'm hoping you get them in and out.
Absolutely.
What you want.
If you bring something to market, you better be prepared to move some weight, move some product. And if you're not, you're kind of being disingenuous to yourself because it's a costly. It could be a costly mistake.
Yeah. And then where can people go and buy your rubs?
You can visit us online, meatapostles.com, or hit us up on Facebook, #meatapostles.com. And all my Texas peeps and all your Texas peeps that are listening down there in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I lived in Collin County in Dallas County for most of my life. So Chart 380, Sean Astolfo up in McKinney has a fantastic store up there. Take a peek at all of his grilling supplies. And then, of course, Gabriel down in Roy City. I saw your stuff on your shelves down there too. So, and you've got a good placement down there. Gabe's fantastic people. So if you haven't made the trip, if you're listening in Dallas-Fort Worth area and you're in Collin County or Dallas County, Chart 380 is a fantastic place to visit. If you have an opportunity to go visit Joe's Meat Market, take a look at what that guy's got going on out there, man. Have you seen the prices on his Wagyu? I don't know how he's doing that. It's crazy. His steaks are, man, you go out there. I've been out there a handful of times, and thankfully I haven't had a cooler, because if I did, man, my wife would kill me. I'd be coming back with like quarter freaking cow. So.
Yeah, he's had some people that go in there with like coolers and just walk in the store and just come out with meat, and they just freeze it and they go right back home. They drag. I think they go 12 hours down there to get meat, and then 12 hours back. I think he's had someone come from Missouri, and then most recently North Carolina. When you got a great store, your great customer service, great prices, great meats, people are going to flock to you.
Yeah,
so he's doing great things there.
Gabriel's got a fantastic store. Looks like he got in a line of knives this week. I haven't got a look at them, but I've seen a lot of people been posting up about them. The mask of steel, those look really good. It looks like he's got all sorts of stuff there, man. His produce was off the hook, man. Yep. We got some avocados that were just like giant softballs, women's softballs. They were awesome. They were awesome, man. We spent more in produce the second time we were there than we did on everything else. So, yeah, definitely. If you're in that area, Joe's Meat Market, you definitely got to put that one on the radar. That's a must hit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure. Here's a question I have. We've come up with our name, last name Salinas and Raw Big. None of us. I don't think you're going to find a Salinas. It's actually within the right weight thing. If you do, they've married into the family. That's just how it goes. How did you come up with King Louie's Meat Apostles?
Well, this is kind of an embarrassing story, but I've told it a handful of times. Get ready for some dirt. So I haven't told this a whole lot, but I'll share it with you. So, I travel a lot. I work for an online education provider in addition to being in the barbecue business. And I travel a lot. And even going back all the way to college, anytime that I'd make a dinner reservation or something, I always used like a fake name, right? I'm happy to give them my number or what have you, but I'd always give like a fake name. What's the reservation under? So I'd say King Louie's. So it kind of stuck, and it kind of became, a little nickname. Everybody called me King Louie. Well, we were going to come out and launch King Louie's, but there's also another well-known barbecue organization called King Louie's, and they've got their own line of seasoning. So that obviously was not going to work, and they've got a trademark. So we got to thinking about it, and I'm a firm believer. I'm a Christian, so I'm cut from that cloth, if you will. And we were thinking about something else, and kind of tied in meat apostas to it. Kind of a little bit of a family Christian background, which is kind of where we kind of come from. So the moment we shared it with a couple of people, everybody fell in love with it, so we ran with it. So that's kind of how it came about, all the way, from making multiple reservations, trying to talk to our college buddies and our, see where we wanted to go, to all of a sudden, it's morphed into King Louie's and meat apostles, and that's kind of what we landed on. Roundabout way to get there, though, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, that's all right. I like that.
As long as, in my opinion, as long as you have a name that means something, holds some kind of value to it, and not just, I just like the name,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of that one name I told you was a great name for a barbecue team, but I can't think of it. It's like,
yeah, because there's a lot of
we had some friends down in Dallas, and when we get together, every time we get together, we have a fantastic time, and we get sitting around the grill, and we come up with these crazy. She is a serial entrepreneur, and has a variety of successful businesses, and is always looking for something else. So, and has a variety of other ideas for other organizations and business opportunities that she's establishing. So she's always on the search for a new name for a business, even if she doesn't know what business she's going to attach it to before it launches. She's got a variety of names, and we're always looking at. It's always interesting to hear Joey's thoughts on what her domain names are. Like one of them was puzzleexchangeswap.com or something crazy like that. There's some, so, and then the later the barbecue goes, the better the names become, right? She has a business, and so needless to say, there's no shortage of good laughs, and to hear some of the stories and the names that she comes up with, because from a marketing and a branding standpoint, really that's your first step forward. That's your first, opportunity to introduce yourself to someone. So it has to resonate. It has to be kind of snappy. It can be playful. It can be serious, but whatever it is, it has to be you, and it has to be authentic, right?
Yeah, that is true.
that is very true.
Because there are some barbecue competition teams out there that are like, you just see them the first time and it's funny, and then you're like, wait a minute, that is pretty legit. That's a good name. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, there's some good ones that are out there. I love seeing all the logos, man. They come up with some crazy good logos out there on the circuit, which is fantastic.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy logos out there, and it's getting here in Texas. It's more and more teams coming out, doing competitions, and it's better. The more teams you have, the more money you can make, and the more for small businesses, the more business you can get. Really, especially if you have, it only takes one cook to go out there to win, and then everyone's like, wait a minute, what are you using? What seasonings, what sauce, what injections? And they start buying, and then you just, it's just do. That's it.
Yeah,
you just need that one cook.
It is. It's kind of crazy, and this because we've all chased the trophies, we've all chased the green, the GCs, right? Everybody wants to get the call and make the walk, and we are tight knit. Not every you want to help your barbecue brothers and sisters out around you, right? and you want them to cook good, you just don't want them to cook as good as we do. Right? Right? We want to beat you anyway. Here's what we're using, but we're not going to tell you the one secret.
Yeah. I'll give you 99, but that one's going to be the biggest one you're not going to get.
Yeah, right. So, but you know, and you guys know this. I mean, how many times have you been in a comp? How many times have you been somewhere and somebody has forgotten something? It happens, right? Yeah. You spend all your time planning, you pack everything up, and you get up, you get set up, and you're like, oh man, we forgot X, Y, and Z, right? Let me go hit these guys up, you know, or let's go over here. And everybody always kind of bends over backwards to kind of help you out. And, you know, that's what my wife and our family, that's kind of what we appreciate about it. Don't you guys a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It makes it better. I mean, yeah, everyone wants to go out there and win, but for us and everybody else that we're around, they want to beat you when you're at your best. They don't want no excuses. Well, I didn't have this or I didn't have that. Like I've gone to just competitions just to, you know, deliver stuff. I was like, oh, if you want to cook, I'll give you the drums. I'll give you the charcoal. We'll go and buy the meat for you. All you got to do is pay for it and cook it. I was like, I didn't bring anything on purpose. So I'm not doing it. But to have that, you know, friendship and that community willing to give you everything for you to cook so they can have that extra team is, you know, special. That's when you know you're in the right group.
Definitely.
Absolutely. It's always good to see everybody too. And, you know, at the end of the day, everybody becomes friends at some point, you know, and this is a very tight knit community, which is, you know, it's awesome, you know? So.
It is. And then, what's your favorite thing to cook? Like if you can only cook one thing.
Oh,
what kind of question is that?
Man, I'm a chicken wing freak. I'm not gonna lie. Golly, probably pork belly. I'm not gonna lie, pork belly, hands down, probably one of my favorites. And I love to get down on pork belly. It followed closely by probably ribs and then brisket. Yeah. I'd say brisket's probably your number one though, right? Is that where you be?
Yeah, for me it is.
Yeah,
but it's just something, you know, take me forever to master. And then in my opinion, once you master something and you're like, oh, that's all I want. But
kind of I play with a lot of stuff, and I'm kind of on the sweet side of things, but man, there's nothing better than pork belly burn ends, dude. And I will kill those things all day. I say that, and literally last night doing a test cook on another sauce, a strawberry based sauce. I'll tell you guys that. We're playing with a lot of fruit right now, but we absolutely killed like I think it was like 5.5 pounds of pork belly, and I cooked it on the pellet grill. Normally I put that on the smoker and I'll give it a good smoke, and then I'll finish it in the oven because I don't like to do a long cook. I like to cook pork belly on my giant smoker, but unless I've got a lot of meats, it's a very fuel hungry older woman. She likes to chew the sticks and smoke sticks, man. So and right now I need to load back up because all I've got is pecan and apple, which I'll use a lot of hickory and oak when I was kind of some of my go-to woods. But right now I'm limited on that. All I've got is my fruit woods, and I want to burn through that right now. So I cooked this pork belly last night on my Rectech. I got a new Rectech a few months back, and it did really, really well. It was fantastic. First time I cooked pork belly on there, and I was really surprised. That girl's really kind of been surprising me. Have you guys cooked on a Rectech?
I have not. I know people who have it and cooked on it, and they love it. But we don't have any kind of pellet grill or anything like that we can use. But I mean, they're popular. Rectech is, in my opinion, taking over, you know, Traeger and all them. That's, you know, the most popular one right now that I see.
I was impressed with their build. I did a lot of research and I was impressed with their build, but you know, I'm kind of a stick burner guy myself. I just wanted to, I've heard so many people talk about pellet grills over the years, and some of my favorite time when I have a chance to decompress late at night, or I'm traveling and on a layover in an airport or something, I'll hop on social media, and I love to see everybody talk about and bash all the pellet grill guys that are out there, right? How they kind of do. I think it's kind of funny, not from just from a joking standpoint, obviously. But I've never cooked on a pellet grill, and I just decided out of the blue, because I was looking at getting a big green egg, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go pellet. I started looking at Traeger, started looking at everything else, and my go-to, I'm a Weber Oklahoma Joe guy. Weber Oklahoma Joe is mainly what I've cooked on. I've never cooked on a drum. I know you guys are started cooking on drums, right? What kind of drums are you guys using right now?
So I have two with another one on the way. One is a short rib drum smoker, and then with the intake valves, kind of like a gateway. And then the other one, it's called a BK smoker, or Brothers Keepers, and that's got the ball valve on it. So
gotcha. Okay.
I mean, both of them they're great. Either way you go. I mean, if you just want to make your own, either way you can do it. I mean, it's so much easier. It's basically like having a pellet grill, charcoal, stick burner, all rolled up into one. You can go low and slow, hot and fast. You basically get it up to temperature, set it, and then forget about it, and just come back and check your meats periodically.
Let me pose this question to you, because I know you guys slay your briskets. So, are you guys doing any hot and fast briskets? Have you cooked hot and fast brisket? I've never cooked a hot fast brisket.
Yeah. So for competitions, that's what I do. For catering, okay, I've done both. I was usually going 225, but lately it's been 250, 275. So like a 16-pound brisket, I can really cook in about 8 hours tops. Gotcha. And that's basically cooking it about 6 hours unwrapped, and then wrapping it in a butcher paper, letting it go for another 2 hours, and it's done, and it comes out just as good as low and slow. You just don't get that much smoke flavor on it.
I've got on my briskets, and I've got the my big smoker that I use is absolutely huge. I can't even give you the size dimensions, because it's larger than any truck that I've ever owned. And you can splay open 2 full hogs. It's got 2 components, cooking chambers on it, with 2 separate fireboxes. And the controls to kind of regulate each side. So you can go a little warmer on one side, but it does share a common wall. So there's a baffle plate in there or a sliding window that you can open and baffle, if you will, open and close to kind of regulate it, and use it as one cooking chamber, or isolate one side where you're cooking at, say, 275 or maybe 300, and you got the other side at pegged at 200, but it's temping 225, 250, so but I can probably put comfortably 144 times 2, 288 whole chickens on this thing, 2 whole hogs, probably have enough grill space on top of that on both sides for probably 4 racks of ribs, and 3 briskets on each side. So there's a lot of grill space. That's my favorite cooker. Problem is, she is big. So when I say she's hungry, she is real hungry, man.
She goes through a lot of wood.
Yeah, but those are the best cooks, and that's how we like to roll, like family style. We'll say, hey, Sunday dinner, after church at our place, this is what we're going to do, and everybody will show up, and we'll throw stuff on, man, and it'll roll all night long, and then we'll get our groove on Sunday.
That's what we did this past weekend. I had catering for someone, and I was like, they wanted to have a cookout because our niece came back in from Utah, so I was like, well, I'll cook since I'm already going to be cooking. So we cooked like 7 racks of ribs or something like that. We had hamburgers, we had a whole bunch of sausage and stuff, and man, it was a long cook. I mean, basically it was about probably 14 hours in total. Because after I got done, I had to once the briskets came off, and I put in, the turkeys, and I put in the sausage after that. Then, just to get everything done, and man, it was exhausting. But those are the best ones where you're wore out, and everyone's like, "Oh my goodness, that's so good." That's what makes it look like even.
Yeah. What's the best thing you guys have made in the last several weeks? What's the best dish you guys have pulled off? Could be a side dish, could be dessert, could be anything. What's been your best thing you've come out of the kitchen or the smoker here recently?
Probably the brisket sausage that I came up with a couple weeks ago. That was pretty good.
Nice.
And then
I don't know, those ribs.
Yeah, the ribs that we had
Saturday were pretty good.
With the hot worker and our original sauce, and then spicy caballeros magic dust sweet. Those were good.
Nice.
The color on them.
I haven't had any of his.
Joe's Meat Markets, I think, has got them. He has a website too. He's got some hot ones. So when we touch base, I'll tell you what he's got, and you just let me know, and I'll get it from him, and I'll ship it with my stuff.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, I can tell you this. The reason I asked this question, this is how we do it. This is how we roll. So if we if we make something, because we live in an area where all of our family, we come from 2 large families. So if we make a dish, I cook, and it's just me and my wife, and my son is home from college now. So there's finally 3 of us that are around. Because, to cook for 2, this big dude, I cook for 12 all the time, right? That's how it goes. And then what I do is we package it up, and we've got family everywhere. So we're dropping off plates of barbecue all the time. Hey, test this, try this, So Cajun asparagus, grilled asparagus with a lump crab salad and a Cajun hollandaise sauce over the top of that. Let me tell you, I haven't posted any photos online, but I will. Hit my Facebook page. I'll post something up. Absolutely ridiculous. So I've made this twice now, and I've only had 1 bite of it. So I've got to make it again just me this next time.
Just so you can eat it.
And we're not out.
Y'all can have it after I get done.
Yeah, it was super easy to make too, man, which was really good. So, and we'll post the recipe up online so you guys can check it out. Hit our Facebook and you can kind of see about it. But man, it was noisy good.
That sounds good. And of course, before we let you go, we like to give the guests time to say thank you to everyone who supported them along the way, whoever it may be. Certainly, your family-wise, competition teams, Facebook groups, whatever. So we'll just give you some time to say thank you to them.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate it, guys. There's a ton of folks that have kind of gotten everybody to kind of where we are, right? And it kind of starts with family, just like and the support of your family and friends that are around you, and we're very blessed and very humbled and very grateful for the support network that's been around us. And then all of my barbecue moocher friends and family members who allow me to cook and put on, massive amounts of meat and come over and give us honest feedback, because at the end of the day, that's really what matters, right? In our eyes, right? So we're appreciative of that, and the support that we've gotten from social media folks. Just like, Randy, we've been in a ton of groups online, and we're in basically all of them. There's a ton of good ones out there. I kind of gravitate to the ones that kind of fit the bill for me, which is I like to have a lot of fun and life's short. I like to laugh around, and I don't take things too seriously, especially myself, right? So Texas Barbecue Chapter has been fantastic. Love those guys. Gabriel out at Joe's Meat Market, Sean at Chard 380. Both of those guys have been absolutely fantastic. And then locally, because we'll have some local cats that are going to listen to this podcast for you too. I partnered with some cousins and family friends that own a restaurant in town, and Dinner's Ready is their name. And those girls do a fantastic job and crank out some crazy good food. So they were kind of my first retail partner that we had here locally. And then we're in a couple of butcher shops, Country Meat Market, all local, Bratcher's, local grocery chain, things of that nature. At this point, I think we've got 22 retail accounts, but since the American Royal, our phones have been blown up, and we're grateful about that. So we'll be in a variety of other spots. But shout out, I will say this: we made a decision, and we're going to sponsor a couple of individuals. One of them is Texas Country Barbecue. They're Juke Moreno and his team. What they've got going on is fantastic. They slay briskets. He slays ribs, man. They're good cooks. They're just kind of getting out and getting ready to get at it. They're going to be at Ruck It Up Charities event here in a couple of weeks. They got a couple of calls last week, which was fantastic. And I think the week before. So, they're part of Team Meat Apostles, which is fantastic. We're excited about that. And, we're grateful for all our barbecue friends, you guys included.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're grateful for the support you've given us too.
Absolutely.
There's you mentioned a whole lot of people there. Of course, Texas Barbecue Chapter has been really good. So if y'all don't know, check them out on Facebook, Texas Barbecue Chapter. They also got a good rub out there. Big Kano's got a good rub out there too as well. I think Big Rome's coming out with one in June. I think he's going to have it in Joe's Meat Market for sure, and probably Char 380. But yeah, just check out all those Facebook groups. I mean, you never know which ones you're going to love until you get into them. Don't go, by the politics. And I like to just sit back and see what's going on first before I, make a decision. Am I going to stay in this group, or is this group for me? Because I like to be in the back scenes and in those Facebook groups just to kind of see. So sometimes I'm in them and I was like, I'm not going to be in this one.
No, same way. I will say this, you guys are here local. We've got a local chapter as well that's online, Mid-Missouri Barbecue. So, and you guys are fantastic about supporting that. And there's a lot of folks that are going to be listening to this probably from Missouri. So Randy and Big Salinas Barbecue, they're bringing all that Texas big, bold flavors, and they're hot off the American Royal Association, the best rub on the planet. They perform very well. His spicy sauce is my favorite. So if you're on the Midmo Barbecue or from that group and are listening, check them out, give them a like and a follow, and they'll definitely hook you guys up.
Yeah, we'll for sure. Especially put in the comments when you place an order, Midmo Facebook group, or King Louie's. We'll definitely throw something special in there for you. But yeah, thank you for hopping on and being the guest. On short notice. So we do appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a blast, guys. It's always fun to talk barbecue, right? Only thing I was missing tonight is a natty.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, maybe we'll have you back on later in another episode, and we'll just be drinking.
There you go.
You never know.
Yeah. That'll be a good one.
Yeah. But yeah, certainly thank you for coming on. We do really do appreciate it. And,
hey, thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Look forward to crossing paths with you on the circuit here pretty quick.
Yep. We'll see you down the road.
Thanks, guys.
Right. And we will be back after this commercial break.
Blow the whistle! Blow the whistle! Blow the whistle!
We like to party.
You're listening to A Good Day for Football with Chris Bustos, Nathan Bedard, David Kroboff, and Troy Warren.
Alfonso Noon is a guy who falls in the bathtub and bites into bubbles.
Hi, I'm Andrew like I like ball. Let's go out here! Let's go!
Oh!
Hey!
Oh!
Dominate!
It's compelling.
Some bias.
He's a cover girl.
Oh!
Touchdown, Dallas!
All right. Welcome back. Great interview right there from Michael Goff of King Louie Meat Apostles. Go check him out. He had a lot of great stuff. I was looking at the pictures of his stuff most of the time that he cooks, and it was amazing. He has a lot of great rubs out there. Nice to know we beat him. He beat us, but now we got competition for next year, so we'll see what's going on. But let's dive into this here, our last little bit. We talked about cooking when you cooked. We cooked last weekend. We talked about it in the interview with Victoria and some other ones on the family being down. What's kind of just your tips? And what's kind of your go-to meat if you're having a family cookout?
Family cookout, I would probably say ribs. That's the go-to meat. Barbecue tip, I mean...
Is that a go-to because just like it doesn't take very long for you to have to prep it? Is that what the deal is?
No, I mean, it's just usually what we're eating. You know, usually it's someone's wife wanting some Dr. Pepper ribs.
Which you never make. So don't be talking about
I don't
it.
even remember her even having it, to be honest.
You made it one time. You sure? I don't even know. I think you spilled some Dr. Pepper in it or something. Would you think
I may put it in the wrap or something. I don't remember.
It was really good. It was.
And then you have Victoria wanting ribs. Usually someone's wanting ribs. I mean, it's easy kind of to cook because you can throw it on the grill, let it go. You can wrap it, not wrap it, sauce it, not sauce it.
Do you prefer, like, what type of ribs are you partial to?
After trying those one Sunday with that Magic Dust Sweet from Spicy Caballero and our hot pork rub with our original sauce, I think that's probably my favorite one.
But do you do like baby backs or do you like the big beef ribs?
Ooh. I'm a spare rib kind of guy, but you give me some good beef ribs,
Heck yeah.
You know, eat it. But it's because basically like a brisket on a stick, basically.
Basically is what it is, for sure. No, I think you're right. Ribs are usually they're the easiest, but you can kind of get it for more bang for your buck. You can go spend the same amount and buy 4 or 5 racks of ribs as you would one brisket or something like that. So plus it doesn't take as long to cook, so you're not cooking all night or something like that. Yep. And then you're kind of wore out by the time it gets there. You can kind of start cooking as people arrive or something and then have it ready. Of course, you get a couple beers in. I think that's the must, have a couple beers, White Claws, whatever you're into as you get into it from there. But that's definitely a go-to on that. Would be the ribs for me as well. Okay, we were talking about it here. When you're at the cook-off, when you're at a family barbecue, tradition wise, I mean, what's something that you say, hey, I want to make sure we do this or this is there? Is it just beer for Mexicans? I mean, is that really what it is? As long as there's beer in the cooler or on the refrigerator or something, are we good?
Pretty much. I know for us it is. I think for our family it's beer and rice. Gonna have rice, whatever it is.
True.
Like we had hamburgers and sausage and ribs Saturday, and all of a sudden now you have rice because someone's got to have rice. I don't know about Chris. What's the family tradition for y'all that y'all usually got to have?
Potato salad, is one of those staples. Potato salad, Mexican rice. It doesn't matter what, I would love to say, and I'm not meaning to throw my dad under the bus here, but I'd love to say that, my pops is a grill master, but, he does what he can. So I think maybe that's why the sides are a little bit more of a feature. And so, yeah, those staples are potato salad and Mexican rice.
Yeah. So if it's not your dad cooking, who is it that you want cooking?
Actually, Danny does a lot of the grilling now. That he's joined the fam, and he does a great job.
You just got to make sure you got to cut him off.
That's the problem. You gotta see, that's the mistake. That's the barbecue tip. You have to start barbecuing then drink. Because if you do it the other way, you're going to be drunk before and you're going to mess something up. I feel.
Absolutely. As far as the Bustos family is concerned, my uncle, Rogelio, he's really, really good with chicken. Like that's his thing. He does the quarter legs and he does them so well. But my dad's always done great with the sausage. He does get those Eckrich sausages. Oh, yeah. Does the quarters on that, cuts them up in like little fours. And those are always, I love those. Those go hard.
Yeah. And then
we were at Vanessa's and Danny's one day, and I think your dad was making a salsa or something. Danny kind of kept him off the grill, so I don't know if that's indication of it. He's like, come, go help him with the salsa. Okay, and he walked up. But I mean, he is very helpful, and he does. He made a great salsa. One was really spicy, and one was just about right. But it was real good. And I think you could add that too, especially for salsa for whatever reason. There's salsa there at any, whether it's pico or any kind of salsa that you're at. That's where we're good at from there. So, but like I said, that's the thing. What I love about barbecue, and then the tradition, like I said, when you're out there, we're talking, we're laughing. I think this past Saturday I had some money on the horse race that I lost miserably at. But hey, it is what it is. And, so we got to watching that, just sitting outside, trying to enjoy the weather before it gets miserably uncomfortable out there as it's bound to here in Texas. But I don't know the way the weather's going.
I know we had tornado running warnings and floods here in Dallas.
Yeah. And I know they've changed those sirens from tornado sirens to storm sirens, but I've still never heard those things go off as much as I have in the past 6 months. I think I've heard it every month, at least once or twice a month. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Weather changes.
Weather does change for sure. Randy, you got any? We did have some questions here. So
we had a couple questions.
Chris had a question.
During the break, I kind of teased the question to Randy, and he the reaction is exactly what I thought it might be. The question I threw out there on social, on Facebook was, have you guys ever grilled anything, smoked anything plant-based? That's a really popular thing right now, plant-based meats. I just wanted to know if you guys ever messed around with any of that stuff.
No. Unless you include corn on the cob as a plant-based meat.
I did that one of Vanessa's little get-togethers. I did the something I saw on TikTok was the corn ribs. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah. That recipe is dope. It's really good. It came out great. Put it in the air fryer. You cut them up. They're they bow out like a rib would, and they're really, really delicious actually.
Yeah, I've seen that. It looks really good, especially if you put it on all the stuff.
But I personally like the plant-based stuff. I like to try stuff. I like Boca Burger is probably my favorite. I know the Impossible Burger came out. That looks like, especially before you cook it, it looks exactly like ground beef. It even bleeds, bro. Like, and it's got, and it's all plant-based. But the thing that I don't like about that is they do use liquid smoke. And one of the other, one of our followers on Facebook actually asked that. She said that, that's something that she's seen. And I don't know exactly, which particular barbecue people she's referring to, but she says that she has seen people use liquid smoke in their barbecue. Is that something you've seen? Are you a fan of that? Do you understand it? Like maybe we're just a little more novice and we don't understand. Maybe if you use it in small doses, I feel like that's like kind of defeats the purpose of the artistry and the mastery of being a pit master.
I haven't seen it in barbecue in general.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people will do it, like if you're cooking in the brisket in the oven, putting liquid smoke in it just to give the smoke flavor of it.
Yeah.
But if you're using it to cook like a pellet smoker or offset, you're defeating the purpose of the cook. There's no reason to do it.
Right.
But now, if you want to put it in like a sauce to give it like a smoky flavor, you put a little bit of it.
That makes sense.
That it could be good. There are a lot of good sauces out there that have that smoke flavor in it because you can't. When you get it manufactured, you can't just take it out and put it on the smoker. You can't bring a smoker in to get that smoke flavor. You got to have that liquid smoke. So, But I think a little goes a long ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. I have never personally used it. so I don't know much.
That's something that I'm interested. Like I'm definitely interested in trying because I was just thinking, when it comes to the plant-based stuff, like I think that using your sauce might elevate it and make it actually taste like I said, I like it. I don't know if you guys, pit masters love meat, real meat. I'm not like a super like really into red meat. I'm more of a chicken dude myself. I love fish. I don't ever really crave a steak. That's just not my style.
Yeah.
But I do love pork. I love turkey. Like I worked at Rudy's and when I lived in Lubbock for a little bit, and I know that's like commercial barbecue, but even still, like I love turkey loin. I think that stuff is amazing. And then I know that you mentioned before, Junior, that you're really into. You like the fatty brisket. Like I'm a lean guy. I love lean brisket.
So you can go, like, if you order brisket, you go to places, they say, you want it lean or fat?
Yeah.
I always tell them a mix. Give me a mix of
Okay.
both.
Yeah, I like that.
So I don't give me a little bit of both because sometimes they'll give you fat and that's all they've given you.
Right.
And then of course that weighs more, so they usually weigh it a pound of whatever. So you ask for a mix, that way you get a little bit of both on it. But I have
just feel like is the lean too dry for you? Is that what it is?
It can be, but I just think that fat, for me, that's just my personal taste. I like the brisket with the little fat on it. And from there, and we'll have the clogged artery we'll deal with later. But that's just me. Some people, I've seen people know just lean and it's still juicy, but that's how you tell if it's still juicy and it's lean. You've got, I think, to me, a great brisket right there. So
yeah.
But I've had some that you get lean and that's all they'll serve you. They won't serve you the fat, and it's very dry to me. And then
what about chopped brisket? Careful. Do you feel like that kind of takes away from it because it's just like they just kind of douse it in all the barbecue sauce? You don't really get the true, like, you know what I mean? Like it's like kind of takes away the essence of the barbecue. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. To me, chopped is not my favorite. It's not my favorite because you definitely have to have barbecue sauce with it. When I have a steak, I want to eat a steak with no A1 or no sauce. Same thing with brisket. I don't want to have to, if I have to add stuff to it, then to me, it's not worth it. You didn't do a good enough job to me. So, if it's ribs or something, that's different. But that's just my personal thing is I don't want to have to add sauce to my brisket or sauce to my steak or anything like that. So,
do you guys do a lot of smoking of turkeys, turkey breasts, or anything like that? Pork loin?
Yeah, we do turkey breast.
Oh yeah,
he did.
We usually do it for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
How did those?
I did some this past weekend.
He gave some big old fat turkey breasts. I spanked one with my hand, and I think luckily it's already been broken and it can't break again because it hurt. Like it hurt. It just spam. But they looked pretty good when he was pulling them off as we were leaving. It looked amazing. So I'm sure it even tasted amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure.
A little piece that I tried.
Yeah.
Oh, so you snuck a piece, huh?
No, you got to try it before you
got to test the product.
You got to.
What about pork butt? You mess with a lot of pork butt? Little Boston butts?
Yeah. You just got to get it till it falls apart.
Yeah. The pulled pork. Yeah, that's tough. Oh, it's so amazing.
Yeah. You get it right with that right flavor. You don't need no barbecue sauce.
That's right.
But you having the barbecue sauce just to go on top of it, it gives it an extra flavor.
Yeah, it's like icing, right?
Yeah. But
well.
And then let's dive into some
sports talk. Now, wait a minute. Now you bashing this NBA. We're bashing this NBA playoff. Let's let you know that your Spurs have been eliminated. So today is a good day. Today's a good day. It's just anytime the Spurs get eliminated, it's a good day. I'm sorry. We have a family round. Randy's a big Spurs fan, and all the times him and Duncan and Ginobili and Parker won them damn championships, he would rub it in my face. Another one, that's 5 or whatever. 5, is that what it is? But he rubbed it in our face, so it's okay. But they lost to LeBron, we beat them, so we got that over him. But it's they lost, so the Grizzlies won, and they'll move on. we'll see what happens later tonight. Of course, this will be all said and done by the time this airs, but
Yeah, you
it's
got
all
the,
good.
the matchup that everybody's been anticipating as far as the play.
Yeah.
Got Golden State versus the Lakers going right now.
The Lakers, that should be an interesting game.
But
Absolutely.
like I said before, I don't think the playing game was smart. I think it's stupid.
I love it.
I
I
mean,
love it. I just love that
I don't-
just the wrinkle of it all. Like it's a little bit different. Give me something different. That's why I really loved last year with the bubble basketball. That was my favorite. That was one of the things that really brought me back to basketball. Just the uniqueness of it. I thought it was just so cool and so different. And so just this little wrinkle to the playoffs, I really enjoy.
Absolutely.
Okay, so who do y'all got winning it all?
I'm a homer. I am. I'm going for the
until
Mavs,
they're
man.
eliminated. Until they're eliminated. Tell them, Chris.
They're
eliminated.
If they do get eliminated, if they do, then I'm riding with the Knicks. I think that's a great story.
The Knicks.
Yeah, I think they.
Hell no. Then we got to hear Stephen A. Smith. Hell no.
That's like, wait a minute. The Knicks got in the playoffs.
They did.
They're like the
That's what I'm
fifth or
saying.
sixth.
That's
the fifth seed.
fourth
They're not
seed.
even
They
in.
made it all the way to
playoffs.
the fourth seed.
Wow.
That's the crazy
Fourth
thing because they were so terrible, and so I think
I
that's
will say
a really
that
cool
though.
story.
I will say that I'll give Stephen A. Smith. If the Nets don't win it all, the biggest story in basketball will be the surgence of the Knicks. Period. If the Nets don't win it, that's it. And it didn't even matter if the Nets do win the championship.
You know who I'd love to see eliminate the Knicks? The Wizards. It probably wouldn't. It ain't gonna happen. But I would love to see the Wizards eliminate the
The
Nets.
Wizards win. They were in the playoff game. They win yesterday.
They did not, but they get one more chance.
Yeah, they can finish the 8th seed.
They can finish the 8th seed.
Oh, okay.
I don't think the Nets are gonna win it all. I have a gut feeling it's probably gonna be one of the LA teams.
I don't think it's going to be the Lakers. I don't think it's going to be the Clippers. If it's not the Mavericks, I hate to say it, I would see the Nets winning it if Durant's healthy, because when it comes to are you going to be able to stop that man for 7 games? Harden may get his ring finally. I mean, and they have a stacked team.
Yeah, super team for sure.
I don't see the Lakers doing it.
I think it's too
right
much
now
for
they're
them.
they're getting beat right now. So
Well,
they're
just
getting put
coming
to
back
them
from all
right
the
now, but it's
injury
early,
issues that
it's
they've
early.
had, I just feel like it's too much.
The Clippers, maybe. I mean, because you can never count Kawhi out. So, but we'll see. I mean, you never know. Anything could happen. The 76ers could show up and play. They can get healthy. I think they have a few injuries, but we'll see. So, Rangers are getting no hit through 8. So,
But I'm very proud of him so far for being in the mix and doing what they're doing. Those young players are really emerging. I don't think that we'll do enough to really make a splash this year as far as like getting in a playoff, stuff like that. But I think it'll be a fun year. It's definitely going to be way better of a year than we thought it was anyway.
Yeah.
the Rangers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I've said this and I've been saying it. I thought Gallo would get traded. I don't think Gallo's going to get traded at the trade deadline.
Why would you? Like your pitchers are playing way better than anybody else that thought they would.
Here's what they're going to do. They're going to trade probably the only moneymaker they had, because Gallo's striking out left and right. He's doing whatever he does best, strike out. If he's not hitting a home run, he's striking out. The Garcia, the one that plays center field, he's been playing lights out. Everybody's having an off day today, but who doesn't have a bad game? But he's usually pretty consistent. He's the one that teams are going to want come the trade deadline.
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
That's what's gonna happen. Is they're going to trade somebody they don't need to trade.
Nah,
because they're bound to do something dumb at the trade deadline.
But the thing is that we're not in a rush, man. Like we had no expectations for the season, and so this is just building. That's all we're doing is building stars. Adolis Garcia, you mentioned him. I mean, we're gonna give him time to develop. He's just making a splash right now. Let's see if he can do it for more than one season. What we're seeing from Kiner Falefa, that is a revelation, man. Like, him and Nick Lowe are one of the best middle infielders in the league. Those guys are doing great. And like I said, the pitching, man, what you're seeing is something that we just didn't see happening, and it's developing, and so Dane Dunning has been doing great stuff. what we thought we got with Kohei Arahara, I think is going to end up working out. And then even the other guy, Yang Jong, I think is going to end up being a pretty decent pitcher. So give it some time, bro. Give it some time. I think we'll be all right.
We'll see. I mean, they're doing pretty
In
good.
about
I mean,
4 or
although
5 years will be good.
they are losing, but they're losing to the Yankees, so which is to
Yeah.
be expected with
Right.
their
And then
lineup, so,
Houston too, honestly. But before those two
Houston.
before those two series, we were doing really fine.
Houston banging on trash cans again. I'm really worried about them Cheaters.
What do you we had the rookie mini camp. What have you seen from that? What are you excited about?
I've seen a little clips here and there, and it's got me, like I said, Parsons is growing on me.
Right.
The fact I saw, what was it, Dan Quinn?
Out there with the D tackles.
Right? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Out there with the D tackle lining up, getting his hand on the ground.
Love
That's
it.
something I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
He's back to where I think he's getting that love for. I mean, I understand he's that close to winning a Super Bowl to then not winning nothing for the next 2-3 years, and then so I him to get back that love. Like I said, they got a pretty good coaching staff overall. The rookies getting out there, haven't seen too many. I didn't have a chance to scroll for the highlights and stuff like that, but so.
Seeing some good things from the defense, period. And that's something I'm really excited about.
That's all we're worried about, for sure. But here's something I want to do real quick. I know you'll probably do. Let's honest opinions, and we're gonna quickly. I know we're kind of crunched for time. Let's go through this schedule, and let's see who do you got, win or loss. Just pretty simple. With y'all, and let's see what y'all, if y'all are thinking like I'm thinking. The week 1 versus Tampa. What y'all thinking? And it's at Tampa. Tampa's healthy. They got all their players back. We winning or we losing? Randy, what you got?
I got a loss.
You got a loss. Chris?
I'm going to go ahead and say 0-17 so they don't let me down.
We're going to win at least one game.
Yeah. I love the matchup. I think that, it'll be Dak's first game back. So I think that's special. And I think that with Tampa Bay, they're bringing everybody back. So I know that they're going to be really nice and cohesive there. But yeah, man, I love the matchup. It's going to be, I don't see us winning the game, but I think it'll be a good game. And as far as the season's concerned, I think we're going to do well, dude. I think we're going to lose like 4 games max.
So 13-4.
That's right.
13-4. I've got it a little lower. I've got us 12-5, I guess is what it would be. This whole extra game's got me kind of confused.
I'm excited.
We win the division, like I said. Because I think we can turn it. I don't see us winning week 1, but I think we turn it around come week 2 versus the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a very winnable game. I think we can beat Philly. Philly doesn't know what they're doing. Then you have Carolina, New York. The next time we lose for me is probably going to be week 6 when we go into New England. Depending on the weather, depending on how we do, there it is. We haven't won in New England in forever. It could be raining or whatever. So I've got us actually losing that game as the next one. But I think we can beat Minnesota. Denver, Atlanta, I don't see us with Kansas City. The one game I'm going to tell you this. I want us to win at least. I would love for us to win both games against the Redskins because I'm tired of them talking trash already. And the one game I really truly want us to win is I'm tired of seeing it on TikToks is the Raiders. I don't know when they thought they were God's gift of football, like they have done anything.
That's my second team,
even make
bro.
the playoffs last year. I don't even care if that's your second team. You're like your mom. You got 85
No.
teams.
It all goes back to
At
Tecmo
least he
Super
was
Bowl.
from Chicago.
Tecmo Super Bowl when we were kids, man. Like
Bo Jackson,
Marcus Allen in the same backfield, bro. Give me that all day.
Shit. That's it.
And Ice Cube.
That's it. That at all. I just don't see where they've done anything to brag as much as they have.
They need a quarterback,
but those
man.
are
I
my
don't
thing.
think
Like I
Derek
said-
Carr is anything. I think that they're holding on. I think they need to figure that out. If they figure that out, then they're on their way.
I could not agree more. What you said, Randy? So Randy, what you got him? You said 0-17. What's your realistic expectation?
Realistic, probably 10-7.
10-7.
I think we're gonna predict that they're gonna come off, strong and have a good way. But this is the Dallas Cowboys you're talking about. This is the same offense that you've had for the past 2 years, and I don't honestly. I think they're gonna come out flat, like they usually do. I think they're gonna be playing catch up. I think at the end of the season they're gonna turn it on. I think they'll do enough to win the division. I don't think the division is that good. It's still weak.
Yeah, I think the only thing. I mean, Washington's the only competition. I don't think what they did. I don't think what Philly did in the offseason or what New York did in the offseason was enough.
No, I mean with New York with Saquon, Saquon's gonna get hurt.
That knee's going to be tough to come back from. Any knee injury is going to be tough to come back from, and he hurt it pretty bad. So, definitely, I would agree on that. Like I said, Philly doesn't know what they're doing. Philly doesn't know what they're doing as far as that, as far as their quarterback is concerned. So I'm not too worried about Philly. Washington, they got a good D, but is it one of those, was it a flash in the pan? Do they think they were cocky enough to, because I don't think they really did anything to improve their defense in the offseason, if I'm not mistaken.
They drafted a linebacker in the first round. So a little bit there, but we'll see. Yeah, I feel you.
But they're kind of like Houston in a way. It's like, we've got one really badass player, but that's all we need. We only need that one badass player. That's not the way defense works. What made the Ravens good all those years was Ray Lewis, Reed, all those guys. I mean, you can name it from top to bottom. Their defense, Suggs. They had more than one badass player out there, and that's what made their thing. Here's the game. Another one. I'm curious what y'all thought. The game against New Orleans on Thursday. A lot of experts have us losing that because of the quarterback play of the Saints. Am I missing something on that game? Did Drew Brees not retire?
Oh no,
or is he just planning to play that game?
Retired. No, he retired. I don't know. Yeah, that's something about that they don't have them taking too much of a dip. But yeah, man, I don't see Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill doing anything over there.
Not with it's going to be Taysom Hill because for whatever reason,
how many gimmick
like I told
plays
you,
run?
The so-called greatest coach over there. They love him, but in my opinion, he's never been a good coach. When you fall on Drew Brees, he leads you to the Super Bowl, and then you can't do anything with him after that. It's kind of, same thing with the Rams coach. Where Sean McVay, you're supposed to be this great coach, but then what have you done lately?
What have you done for me lately? I don't know. Like you said, Drew Brees makes you a lot better. Look at the dip the Patriots had. Always Belichick, it's this and that. No Tom Brady, no playoffs, weren't really competitive in that division at all. So we'll see. Rangers are 1 out away from being no hit. So we'll see what happens there. But I think it should be an interesting season for the Cowboys if we can stay healthy. We can certainly surprise a few teams and hopefully don't get surprised by a few teams. I'm glad we only have one ESPN game because I can't stand their announcers for very long. They're just about as bad as the Sunday Night Football crew. No, Boog's not in there or something like that. I forget who's in it now. I don't know. They just babble and babble and babble. Ever since it's changed, they've taken a step back. Oh, we did have another question. We got into it here. I forgot to ask, but it was from John McGuire. He says, Randy, what's your biggest challenge when creating a new rub or sauce? And you know who he is. I forgot to ask that one earlier.
The biggest challenge really is just getting the way I like it. Because what I have in my head, like with the original, what I had that I wanted, it's finding that balance between having sugar and all the stuff in there, especially with the rubs. You want it, in my opinion, I wanted it to be balanced, where they can be used on everything. So it's coming up with the recipes because a lot of people throw in like cumin or chili powder or all these different stuff, and then you got your jalapeno powder, your honey powder, your butter, um, all these different things that you can throw in there. So it's finding that one ingredient that's going to give it that wow factor. Like, 'cause if you can't wow yourself, then you're not going to wow anybody else. So I think
Love that.
I love that. That's awesome. For sure, for sure. Wow. Any other tips or tricks or sports advice you want to drop on us?
No, I do want to know what besides the Cowboys, what one game are you looking forward to seeing?
That's a good question.
The GOAT back in New England.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the ones that everybody's
Did they boo
looking at.
him? Did they cheer him? That one would be a good one. I'm trying to pull up a schedule as he said that because I know there's a more better one.
I mean, that's pretty up there, but yeah, there's going to be some cool matchups between some of the rookie quarterbacks coming out. I think that'll be fun. But yeah, I mean, you can't beat that. Like all the talk last year, Tom Brady going out there and actually, fulfilling the so-called destiny of going to Tampa and bringing him to the championship, and then having him come back and face his old coach. I think it's gonna be hard to find something that's gonna top that.
Is rolling into neighborhood. Whoa.
What was that?
Scrolling down on ESPN a little too far. That's all that was. I don't know. I mean, you have one in mind is why you at, like I said, that would be to me one of my favorites to see that one. You could go as far. I mean, seeing maybe a couple rookies go at it if they get the chance. Kansas City at Baltimore come week 2 should be a good one. Yep. From there. Tennessee at Seattle that week too. They got a lot of good matchups that week in week 2.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good matchups come this season. But here's your question then: over and under 6 games, 5 games doesn't show up. Does what happens with the QB situation in Houston? Does Watson show up, or does he end up in jail, or what?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't. There hasn't been a lot of updates on that story.
It's kind of stopped after his lawyers came out and filed that motion to hear all the names.
I'm more interested.
There's women coming out saying that they've dealt with him in the past and they've had no issues.
Yeah.
He's released text messages showing some of the women are coming back saying false statements about it.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to show up. But I think I'm actually a little bit more interested in whether Aaron Rodgers shows up or not.
Yeah.
Because the Green Bay Packers are actively, seemingly going with plan B. They're signing quarterbacks left and right. So it seems like they're getting ready, and they seem to believe that Aaron Rodgers is not going to show up.
Yeah, well, he said he'll only stay if I think the general manager leaves.
Yeah, he wants him fired.
But they're prepared to sign him to a long-term extension, which I think is stupid.
But here's the thing.
In my opinion, you have a quarterback that already that late in his age. If that was the quarterback you got, you did it with him and Favre. Why not just go ahead and trade him and see?
They may trade him come June 1st is what last thing I heard, but they did say it best. Somebody said like the last 10 drafts, it's been one offensive player, and that was his backup or his reserve or the next him. But it has allowed him to go to a few NFC championship games. I mean, he was given – Tom Brady doesn't throw many picks and doesn't play as bad as he did. And I don't think he had a great game that game. But they definitely could have capitalized on some of those interceptions, and it went back where Rodgers came in and threw an interception and gave it right back to Tampa Bay. So you can't just blame it all on the coach on that bogus, boneheaded, not going for it on 4th down there coaching call. But like I said, you do it on that. when does Justin Fields get in the game for Chicago? When does the next generational talent play?
Man,
I've got it by week 4.
I think it'll be sooner than that, man. Honestly, I know that he's trying to go with the storyline that Andy Dalton's the starting quarterback, but I think by the end of training camp, you have a new quarterback. He doesn't have very many options. I mean, his job's on the line. If he can coach him up fast enough, which I think he's hoping he can, I think that Field starts week 1.
You think, wow, Randy, what you got?
I wouldn't have said all that.
Really?
I would have said probably half.
You saw what Andy Dalton did
Those
last year.
thoughts were by Chris
he was going to be
Bustos?
starting. You know,
Andy Dalton was
that's the
throwing
bonus.
10-yard, 15-yard pass, or not even. He was throwing like 5-6-yard passes. So, I mean, you can dig and dunk all you want to. We saw what he was able to do last year. You're not going to win very many games like that.
I don't know. I mean, he did put us in a position to almost win the division.
That was a bad division. But those thoughts earlier were by Chris Bustos and Chris Bustos alone.
That's right. That's right.
But it could be, he could be right. I gave it week 4 because I was just like, they're going to try to play it off. Maybe they get off to a decent start, but that was kind of stretching. I would have taken the under if that was it. I think it could be as early as after week 1. If they go out week 1, give it to Dalton, he loses, they're already going to be calling for his head the first incomplete pass. I mean, if I was Andy Dalton, I would just be like, hey, just let me go now. Just release me. Let me go be a backup somewhere else, because that's all you're going to be there in Chicago at the end of the day as a backup from there.
Come back to Dallas.
He should have never left. He should have stayed the backup here because, I mean, there is
we don't
no guarantee.
really have one, yeah.
If Dak's going to be able to stay healthy, they just went and got defense for you. You never know what could happen there. But like you said, we will see. It'll be an interesting season in East Europe. And come on, we were talking about that this weekend. I'm ready for football on Sundays. This is yes, it's playoff time. It's basketball time, but it's playoff basketball. But I need some football back in my life.
Well, good thing for you, the Cowboys play an extra preseason game this year because we are going to be in the Hall of Fame. I
don't watch preseason games, man.
And then you're not worried. Then you're not ready for football.
I'm not. I don't watch I'm not, especially the Hall of Fame game. I will watch.
Ready for that's when there's going to be players on this team.
The starters play.
You won't see play a single down in the season. The only time you get to watch them is in the preseason.
But not in the Hall of Fame game. The Hall of Fame game. You know what? I might, if he plays, because some of those guys that are trying to make the team are going to play. None of the starters, none of the draft picks will play in the Hall of Fame game. But some of those
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Starter will. So I don't think Dak will play in the preseason.
You might get a series in.
He might get a series or two. He might. I'll see. I'll watch it with them and a little of the second string. But when it starts to get to, John Doe, he's not going to make the team. Third, fourth quarter, I can't do it anymore. Yeah. I got to stop.
So who's y'all's one player that?
But you watch Texas football though.
Negative on that, sir. We'll see what happens come September 5th, buddy. Give you your first loss of the season. Show them Notre Dame fighting Irish how to do it.
Right on.
Right. We'll probably get our butt whooped, be honest with you. But
if it's a regular season game, Notre Dame's gonna bring it.
No, Randy, I think it'll be a regular season. It's supposed to be the first kickoff classic or whatever. Or the first game, Florida State versus Notre Dame. I think it's September 5th. I could be off on the date. Don't quote me. But to answer your question, Randy, we were kind of talking about it on Sunday or Saturday, is what player do you want to see make the team that you've heard of that they haven't? And to me, I think it is
prediction.
My dislike for this school does not mean I dislike him, and that's Vasher from Texas Tech. I mean, I was looking up his stats. It's 6'4", 6'5", or some craziness like that, and I'm like, are you kidding me? What did they? I mean, how bad do you have to suck to not be able to get that guy the ball more, to where he could have got drafted at least in the 4th or 5th round? There is a guy, I will have to get his name. He was drafted, he's in the 4th round pick, a receiver from Oklahoma State. Is actually my old boss's nephew that's playing for the Ravens. I'll have to get his name. So he's telling me about that today. He's super excited about it. And for his nephew, he's got one nephew doing that. The other one that's got caught trying to rob somebody. So from Oklahoma. So he's One's
Oh,
starting his
dude.
life and one's throwing his life away. And that's his quote. I'm not going to tell you the boss's name. I'm not going to put him out there like that, but that's his quote for there. But Vasher would be my player to see that I want to see make the team, because I think he could take he hope maybe even take Gallup's spot, because I don't see Gallup being on the team after his deal. He just doesn't show up enough for me.
Come on,
you're gonna
bro.
keep Cooper.
That's a hot take. That was a hot take.
Hey, one of those three receivers got to go.
It's got to be Cooper again.
Gallup and Lamb. And who's the oddball out is Gallup, because he's not signed to the long term.
Possible. He's the youngest, but that's possible. Or one of the youngest, but it's possible.
I mean, if he can show up and do his thing, then Vasher can be the number 4 receiver. I'm cool with that. Or I mean, here's that you put them, list them fourth on the depth chart, but the way, if they are smart, move their receivers around, you could have Cooper in the slot, Gallup in the slot, Lamb in the slot, Vasher on the outside, put him in the middle, move him to tight end, half on certain plays, whatever you want to do, and really kind of show up and use his size to his advantage. But like I said, they're going to have to show you something, because especially Gallup, because he's getting towards the end of his rookie deal. So
I think this year is last year.
I think it is, because he wasn't a first-round pick. I know they picked him.
You could pretty much think you could see Vander Esch and Gallup being their last year as the Cowboy. So I think you're going to see them go out and play their butts off like everybody does. It was their last year in the contract. They're going to go out there next year. They're going to get the big old contract.
Jerry will pay you too if you do it. Only one I don't think can do that is Vander Esch. Because if the other guys play like we think they're going to play,
yeah, and Jabril Cox is already showing out in rookie camp, so we'll see about that.
There's nothing he can do to stand that and stay in it longer. But I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. Like I said, we'll see what happens. Who do you take real quick, Chris? Who do you think's your go-to guy, undrafted? You think he's gonna make the squad, make a difference, take somebody's starting role?
Yeah, I don't know if we have one of those. I think that we had so many draft picks, though, you know what I mean? So we had 11 guys on the squad. So to talk about an undrafted, it's going to be difficult for those guys to make the squad. It just is. I think that, I think it's going to be real crowded at the cornerback position. I think it's going to be crowded at the receiver position, like you guys were talking about. So we'll see.
We'll see. And I'm looking it up right now. Sunday, September 5th, 6:30, ABC.
Catholics versus the convicts.
No, we're not the convicts. That's Miami. But Notre Dame at Florida State. We'll see. I don't know how we get to see. We get these primetime games lately because of who we play. It's definitely not the talent we have on the field lately. But we're going to turn it around. We're going to get back, and we're going to be back on top before you know it. We'll be losing to Alabama just like everybody else. So don't worry about it.
Getting blown out like Oklahoma.
Well, they did. Well, at least you can't get no hit in football like the Rangers just did.
Yes. Well, we'll see. We'll be out of the game. All right, Randy, what's your final thoughts?
Be sure to check us out on all social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, BigSalinsBBQ.com. Give our stuff a try. We got new labels coming in for the rubs very soon. So stay tuned for those. You can check them out on our Instagram page or Facebook page if you want to see what they look like. They may pretty much fly off the shelves once the new labels actually comes out. And of course, as always, give it a try, because you never know, you just may get hooked on big taste, big flavor, Big Salinas.
There it is. Now go back, listen to the beginning, have it here. We're not going to take too much more of your time. Hit those small businesses, give them a shout out, give them a call, let them help you with your realtor needs, your housing needs, or your barbecue needs. Definitely hit those up. Thanks again to Chris, our mad producer, the mad scientist, working the board for us. And then, of course, anytime you're out there cooking, cook with love, cook with confidence, and we'll see you down the road.
Yeah, man. Great guests today, too.
The original 5 levels are big, healthy, husky, fluffy, and damn. People ask, what could be bigger than damn?